this boy here named Gojo. He is a boy with zero communication skills, and that's why Gojo still hasn't made any friends due to his low self-esteem and a bitter childhood memory until he meets Marin, a girl who lives in the exact opposite world as him. So the story starts as the boy named Wakana Gojo is a high school student who dreams of becoming a kasirasi for Hina dolls one day. Because his life is all about making Hina dolls, he has hard time fitting into his class due to his interests are so different than anyone else. But on the other hand, his classmate Marin Kitagawa is always at the center of the attention and she is totally from another world. Yes, I would say it's certainly true. As the story plots, one day when our boy was sitting on his bench, suddenly out of nowhere, Marin Kitagawa falls on his bench. But our hardcore doll otaku couldn't have a great talk with her as he is introvert. But somehow, certainly on the same day, Marin and Gojo ends up on the classroom cleaning duty. On the next following day, because of some issues with Gojo's grandpa's sewing machine, he went to school craft lab to make Hina dolls. But there he found Kitagawa again, and Kitagawa came to know that Gojo can make costume. Kitagawa asked him to make her a costume. After seeing how passionate Marin is about the things he loves, yes, here we are talking about cosplay. No, oh sorry, my mistake. Adult cosplay. By listening to her fantasy, Gojo decides to help her out in making a cosplay for Shizuki Korietan from the game Slippery Girl 2. This game is the adult game with lots of movie girls. Marin and Gojo had planned it to reconvey later, but Marin couldn't wait and ends up coming to Wakana's house over the weekend. Yes, taking it to little more fast forward. At Wakana's house, by taking measurements and learning about Kitagawa, Marin and Wakana starts to get closer because of helping her to create her cosplay. Though he is happy about the fact that Marin treats him the same way at school as in person, he also starts to worry about the fact that what other people think. That it's weird that Kitagawa and Gojo are hanging together. Hence our Gojo is still afraid of what other people think. So, because of these inner thoughts, he tries to run away from Marine, but Marine goes after him and makes him happy by doing silly comments. Then Marine takes Wakana to the shopping to look for the material they needed for her cosplay. In other way, it's a date, my boss. Yay! After looking for the material they needed, Wakana felt revealed just for a small time because they got all the material they needed for Marine's cosplay. But he is thrilled to find out that he needs to finish the cosplay in just 2 weeks. So he is worried about the time. But those who doesn't know, our boy is a hard worker. On all of that, his grandfather, Koru, got back broke. So Wakana had to run the shop and also have to deal with his midterm exams. Wakana feels overwhelmed and ends up depressed, wondering if he will ever actually become a Kasirasi at this point, and his trauma leads to depression. But from the hard work he does paying off, Wakana finally completes the Shizuku cosplay. Marin is super excited that she gets to dress as her beloved Shizuku-tan and suggests that the two of them go to a cosplay event. Because of dress being too good, even though it's her first time at a cosplay event, Marin gets a request from left and right. Wakana is overwhelmed with the feeling as he watches over Marin. But as Marin and Wakana have a successful first cosplay event because of something Wakana said, Marin's mental and emotional state starts to change a little. And by having some fun time at cosplay event, Marin realized that her costume is coming off. So they runs out of the event. Ends up coming to Gojo's house. Even though she was just spending time at Gojo's home with Wakana, she can't seem to calm down as she thinks she is falling in love with Gojo and suddenly her stomach grunts and she stays at Gojo's house for dinner. Meanwhile, a certain person came to Gojo dolls after seeing the post Marine posted onto social media of her Shizuka cosplay. As he realizes that she is Jujo, known cosplayer who was mentioned by Marin. So he invites Marin to meet her, and because of this meeting, Marin is going to do a cosplay with her idol, the cosplayer Juju, whose real name is Sajuna, and they are going to cosplay as Black Lolbia and Black Lily from the magical girl anime Flower Girl Blaze. Wakana went to Marin's home so that he can borrow the DVDs for research to make the outfit for them. And Wakana found that how passionate she is by looking at her room. And Marin also tries to cook for Gojo, but she ends up making something which made Gojo happy, and it was none other than basic fried rice. The next following day, Juju introduces her photographer, who is none other than her younger sister, Shinju Inui, and by introducing them to her, she meets Wakana and Marin for the first time. Marin and Wakana both are shocked at how different she is from her older sister Sanjuna. In short time, Shinju and Marin become closer as they were talking about cameras, and Marin suggested that Shinju should also try cosplaying, but Shinju doesn't want to because of her sister. But somehow Marin manages to make her agree. Later on, when they needs a place to do cosplay photo shoot, Sanjana suggests that they should check out the abandoned hospital, and by agreeing on that, they will use the abandoned hospital for their group cosplay. And on the other hand, Gojo has been done completing the Black Lolibia and Black Lily cosplay dresses thanks to Marine's help. So both Marine and Sanjuna tries on their cosplays, and they both excited about how nicely they turn out, and Marine is even more excited about their upcoming group cosplay, as her cosplay looks super good. When the shoot day finally arrives, Marine and Sanjuna gets an unexpected visitor. Wakana and Shinju's secret plan was a success. Still, Juju finds out, as Shinju also playing cosplay, but they ends up happily photoshooting, which adds to the success of their first group cosplays photoshoot. As Juju and Shinju looks through the photos from the photoshoot, the sisters finds out how they both feels. Meanwhile, Marin and Wakana are enjoying their summer vacation. By playing around at beach and having fun time at beach, they came back. Now they were preparing Marin's cosplay for a fighting game character named Veronica. And yes, because of the desire to be the character for the cosplay, Kitagawa also tries to get her bird successfully. After doing Veronica character's cosplay, now it's time for Liz. Liz is a succubus who appears in one of the Marine's favorite slice of life series, Sakodik. I can't spell it, but you can see it on here. So she also needs to wear some funny stuff for cosplay. With the cosplay ready, they went to a studio for a photo shoot. But the studio happens to be a rather unexpected location as the most cheap location, known as Love Hotel. Yes, Gojo is totally surprised and Marin is excited for the cosplay. And they took many photos, yes, of course, of the cosplay. And for the best pose they can get, they ends up being in a weird position. When they were gonna have good time, suddenly their renting period is over and they couldn't have a single kiss. And goes home back. Gojo starts to regret the chance he missed. Summer vacation is coming to a close. Wakana receives a message from Marin, who hasn't finished her homework, so he ends up helping her studying at her home. They later realize that Marin had forgotten some math drills at school, so they went to get them. While alone at the school, Marin and Wakana makes plan to go to a summer festival together. And when finally the day arrives, we see them enjoying festival and eating as much food as much they could. And they watches the firework with love and excitement filled piggyback ride because Kitagawa's feet got hurt. What a clumsy girl. And here our short lovely festival day ends happily.